You, Tahu, and the boy who hugged you tightly outside the college were sitting in a restaurant. Why, you went abroad to study, so what are you doing here? I had gone abroad to study, but I did not feel like being without you there, so I came back from there. Now I will study with you in your college. He says, holding your hand, which makes Tang very angry. When you did not have to come all the way from abroad for me, you speak in a worried tone. Even if I had been there, I would not have been able to concentrate properly on my studies. So it was right for me to come here. When? But Daniel is your best friend who lived with you in Busan. Daniel, I'm hungry. Will you order something or are you playing to starve me? He says smiling. Tahu was just looking angrily at your hand which Daniel was holding. Wine, I'll order now. Tell me what will you eat? Daniel, you know what I like to eat, so why are you asking me? You smiled after listening to Daniel and called the waiter and ordered the lunch of Daniel's choice. Seeing all this, Tahung's eyes turned red with anger. Daniel, Wine, who is he? He asks, you pointing at Tahung. After Daniel says this, you realize that Tahung is also with you. One, his name is Taehyung. He is my mom's friend's son and also my senior. Daniel, hey Taehyung, it's been years since we last met. One, do you know Taehyung? Daniel, when we lived in Seoul, you used to take me to Taehyung's house. Have you forgotten? When I was only 5 years old, then how can I remember something so old? Daniel, because of your habit of forgetting, you get low marks in the exam. Hearing this, you glared at Daniel because you did not want Taehyung to know that you got low marks on the exam. When shut up saying this, you start eating your food, which was served by the waiter just a moment ago. Taehyung was getting very angry seeing you both joking like this. You all were sitting and having dinner. Mrs. Kim, Taehyung, you help Wan with her studies. Taehyung, Mom, I don't have time. I can't help anyone. Saying this, he goes away from there. Mrs. Kim, don't mind what he said. Why? Maybe he is busy, that's why he said that. Mrs. Kim, you are very nice, Mrs. Kim said while caressing your hair. Taehyung was sitting angrily in his room when his eyes fell on a keychain and he got lost in his thoughts. A cute 4-year-old girl who was sitting with her face puffed up with anger was being persuaded by a 6-year-old boy, yet the girl was not agreeing. Taehyung, one, please don't be angry at me. Next time it won't be late. One, I don't want to talk to you. Get out of here. You speak angrily. Then Tang gives you a keychain. You become very happy to see it. Actually, it was the keychain of your favorite cartoon which you wanted but you could not find it anywhere. One, thank you, Tang. Saying this, you hugged him. Seeing this brings a smile to Tang's face. Tang was lost in his thoughts when he heard your sweet voice and he looked towards the door where you were standing. When? May I come in? Tang. When? Are you angry with me about something? You speaks in your sad voice. Tang. No. Tang speaks after hearing your sad voice. After hearing this, you start leaving from there. Tang. Go bring your notebook. I will help you in your studies. Hearing this brings a smile to your face. You were completing your assignment and Tang was helping you complete it. Tang, is Daniel your boyfriend? Why, no. He is not my boyfriend. We are just good friends. You have misunderstood. You say this in one breath. Taehyung, okay, but he was talking to you like he was your boyfriend. When actually he is my childhood friend, that's why he was talking like this. But there is no such relation between us as you are thinking. Tang feels happy after hearing this from you, but he does not let any emotion appear on his face. Mrs. Kim, Tang, you take care of Wyan. Tang, okay, mom. Mrs. Kim, Wyan, take care of yourself. Call me if he bothers you. Mr. Kim, come on, we are late for the flight. Mrs. Kim, you both take care of yourselves. I will leave now. Saying this, she leaves from there. Actually, Mr. and Mrs. Kim were going for a week for the wedding of their friend's daughter. Tang's car stops outside the college and you get out of the car. Just then Daniel arrives. Daniel, I was waiting for you for so long. Why did you come so late? Why were you waiting for me? Daniel, there is a surprise for you. Come with me. Saying this, grabs your hand and drags you away from there. Seeing this, Taehyung clenches his hands in anger. Taehyung was looking at Daniel angrily when someone placed a hand on his shoulder, which made Taehyung look back and look at him. Taehyung, Jungkook, do you love her? He said this very seriously. Taehyung, I have been in love with her for 15 years. Jimin, what? He speak very loudly. Jungkook, you stop yelling. Jimin, it means you have loved her since you were 6 years old. Jimin asked, ignoring Jungkook's words. Jungkook, does he love you? Taehyung, I don't know. Jimin, who's that guy taking her with him? Is he her boyfriend? He asked, looking towards the direction you and Daniel were heading. Hearing this, Taehyung and Jungkook both stare at Jimin. Jimin, sorry. Jungkook, now not a single sound should come from your mouth, he says while staring at Jimin. Jungkook, who is that person who took wine with him? Taehyung, Daniel is wine best friend. Jimin, does he love wine? Jungkook stared at Jimin as he listened to Jimin. When Jimin sees Jungkook staring at him, he lowers his head. Jimin mind, they both stare at me all the time. Actually, Taehyung and Jungkook were the serious type and Jimin was the joyful type. Taehyung loved you since childhood. You two were best friends. But when Daniel came to live in your neighborhood, you made him your best friend too. And whenever you went to Taehyung's house, you took Daniel with you. Taehyung did not like you being with Daniel, but he also did not ask you to break your friendship with Daniel because he could not see you sad. Then a year later, you transferred from Seoul to Busan. Taehyung felt so bad. He wanted to stop you, but he could not stop you from leaving. Then Taehyung's mother and father sent Taehyung to study abroad. Taehyung also moves abroad because he also did not want to stay in Seoul after you left Seoul. Taehyung and his friends were sitting in the canteen. Jimin, wine? Taehyung listens to Jimin and looks in the direction Jimin was looking. His eyes turn red with anger when he sees you with Daniel. Jimin, what's Wyan doing with Daniel? Jungkook, shut up. Jungkook speaks while staring at Jimin. Jimin, where is he going? Hearing Jimin say this, Jungkook looks at Taehyung who was walking towards Daniel and your table. Jungkook, he is so angry right now that he could beat up Daniel in anger. We have to go and stop him. They both start going after Taehyung. When, Taehyung, what are you doing here? You ask Taehyung as he approaches your table. Before Taehyung can say anything, Jungkook and Jimin come there. Jimin, hey Wayne, can we have lunch with you? Wayne, sure. You felt a little awkward because Jimin had never talked to you so nicely before, but you could not refuse him because he was Taehyung's friend. Then everyone sits on their seats. Jimin, Wayne, I'm sorry about that day. I spoke rudely to you. Wayne, it's okay, you said smiling. Jungkook, hello, my name is Jungkook, he said while shaking your hand. Wayne, nice to meet you, you said smiling. Jungkook and Jimin were just talking to you. They ignored Daniel completely and Taehyung remained sitting with an expressionless face. Daniel, hey Wayne, introduce me to your friend. Wayne, this is Jimin and this is Jungkook, Taehyung's friend and our senior. Daniel, hello senior, nice to meet you. He speaks very respectfully. Both said hello to him. After some time, lunch arrives for all of you and you all start having lunch. Jimin, why did you bring such a big teddy with you to college? Jimin points at Teddy and asks you. Daniel, she likes Teddy a lot and it's her birthday tomorrow so I got her this. Jimin mind, this is why Taehyung brought Teddy something every year, even though he did not like Teddy. Hearing this, Taehyung gets very angry, due to which he leaves from there. Everyone was watching Taehyung leave. Daniel, why did Taehyung leave without eating lunch? Jimin mind, because of you. Jungkook, maybe he did not feel like eating. Jungkook said this for you because you were sad to see Taehyung leave. Taehyung and you were having breakfast at 8 a.m. Taehyung, happy birthday. Wayne, thank you. You were happy that Taehyung remembered your birthday. But now who can explain to you that Taehyung remembered your birthday every year and also celebrate your birthday? Taehyung, will you go to the amusement park with me today? Taehyung said, showing you 2 tickets. Wayne, yes, you became very happy after hearing this from Taehyung. You were crying and Taehyung was trying to calm you down. Actually, you insisted on sitting on the swing, but Taehyung refused you many times. But you did not agree, due to which Taehyung got ready to sit in the swing. But when you got down from the swing, you started crying loudly because you were so scared. Taehyung, I already told you not to sit on the swing, but you did not listen to me. You were crying loudly without Taehyung listening, because of which the people around were looking at both of you. Taehyung, you still cry like in childhood, and when you used to cry in childhood, your cheeks and nose would turn red, and even now, your cheeks and nose are red. Hearing this, you start looking at Taehyung. Taehyung, stop crying now. He wipes your tears and says, Taehyung, let's get out of here now. Wine, I can't walk anymore, my leg hurts. Taehyung, okay then you sit behind me and I will carry you. Wine, no, let it be. You say no to Taehyung because you feel uncomfortable sitting on Taehyung's back. Taehyung, you are tired. Sit on my back, I will take you home. Taehyung was carrying you on his back. Everyone was smiling looking at you both because you both were looking like a perfect couple at this time. What a cute couple. Yes, your cheeks turn red when you listen to people talk. You were sitting on your bed and looking at all the teddies that Taehyung had gifted you. When, oh, I love you, Taehyung, I really love you, you said while hugging a teddy. Taehyung picks up the phone when it rings. His eyes turn red with anger when he sees Daniel's name on the phone screen. Actually, when you and Taehyung went to the amusement park, you gave your phone to Taehyung. Taehyung, why is he calling my van again and again? Taehyung slowly opens the door of your room and sees that you were already asleep. Lily, she moved from the hostel to her aunt's house and did not even tell us. She speaks angrily. Jacqueline, stop getting angry now. Saying this, she rings the bell. After some time, the door opens. The one who opened the door was Taehyung, whom both of them are surprised to see. Jacqueline, sorry senior, I think we have come to the wrong address. Why, no, you have not come to the wrong address. Wine is inside the house. They both get shocked after hearing Taehyung's words. Taehyung, come inside, both of you. Lily and Jacqueline both come inside the house. Taehyung, you two sit, I will call Wine. Saying this, he went away from there. Wine, why are you both so late? Lily, you did not tell us that you are in a living relationship with Taehyung, she said angrily. Jacqueline, on top of that, you also lied to us that you live at your aunt's house. Lily, then what is Taehyung doing with you? When this house is his, so he is here. Jacqueline, what do you mean? You told both of them everything that happened after they left. Lily, you are so lucky to be with someone you love. Just then the doorbell rings again. You go and open the door. Then you see Jungkook and Jimin. Jimin, hey Wayne. Taehyung, dinner is ready. Come on everyone. Hearing this, Jimin moves you aside and goes near the dining table. Everyone was about to start dinner when the doorbell rings again, making Jimin angry because he could not wait to eat dinner. Jimin, who came now? You went to open the door and moments later brought Daniel with you. When Taehyung saw Daniel, the smile disappeared from his face. Jimin mind, who invited him? When Taehyung, I invited Daniel too, but I forgot to tell you. Do you mind? You say this innocently. Taehyung, you don't need permission from me. This house is yours too. Jimin, can we start eating now? Everyone smiles after hearing this from Jimin. Jimin, Taehyung, why don't you cook for me every day? Jungkook, is he your chef who will cook for you every day? Jimin stares at Jungkook. Lily, the food is very tasty. You cook very well. How did you learn to cook such good food? Jimin, a girl said she would only marry a man who knew how to cook. That's why Taehyung learned to cook. Hearing this, the smile disappears from your face. Everyone had left the house. Taehyung comes into the living room and sees that you were drunk. Taehyung, where did you get the drink? Taehyung asked angrily. Why are you so angry? You speak drunk. Taehyung, why did you drink? When do you love someone else and not me? You went to him and said. Taehyung was both happy and surprised to hear this. When you wake up in the morning, you were having a headache. Then Taehyung comes into your room. Taehyung, drink it. You will feel better. You two were having breakfast. Taehyung, will you be my girlfriend? Hearing this, you start coughing and you start coughing loudly. Taehyung gives you water and start rubbing your back. Taehyung, are you okay? You nodded. Taehyung, you can reject me if you want. When? But yesterday Jimin said that you love someone else for whom you learned to cook. Taehyung, the one I learned to cook for is you. You are the one who said in my childhood that you will only marry someone who cooks well. One, it's mean that you love me since childhood. Taehyung, yes. Hearing this, you went to your room. Taehyung gets sad seeing you leaving. You came to your room, closed the room, and sat near the door. One, it means Taehyung loves me too. Thinking about this, your cheeks turned red. Then you remember that you did not respond to Taehyung. Taehyung was walking towards his room when you stopped him. When Taehyung, what happened? There was sadness in his voice. When I love you, you said as you hugged him. For a moment he gets shocked because you hugged him suddenly. But when he realizes what you said to him, he becomes happy and hugs you tightly. Taehyung, I love you too. Your friends and Taehyung's friends were all sitting together for lunch when you come there. When, sorry, I am a little late. Daniel, where were you for 2 days? I missed you a lot. Saying this, he comes to hug you, but before he could hug you, Taehyung came and stood in front of you so that Daniel could not hug you. Taehyung, you should not hug my girlfriend. If you are interested in cuddling, get yourself a girlfriend. Hearing this, everyone looks at both of you with shocked expression. Daniel, you are in a relationship with Taehyung. Daniel speaks happily. Saying this, he goes to hug you again, and Taehyung stops him from hugging you. Everyone smiles seeing this. Actually, Daniel had no romantic feelings for you. He only considered you his friend. Taehyung, wait, why no? You were running ahead and Taehyung was running behind you. Actually, you and Taehyung were making cake in the kitchen when you rubbed refined flour on Taehyung's face and ran away. Taehyung, where will you run now? Taehyung says, holding you. When, sorry, puppy face. Taehyung slowly moves closer to your lips. Seeing this, you close your eyes. Then the door opens and Mr. and Mrs. Kim come in. Mrs. Kim, sorry, you both continue. Saying this, she turns back. Hearing Mrs. Kim's voice, both of you feel embarrassed and both of you go to your respective rooms. Mr. and Mrs. Kim smile as they see you two going to your room. Taehyung, will you marry me? Taehyung was on his knees proposing to you. When, yes, Taehyung makes you wear a ring and he gives you the keychain. When, why did you give me this keychain? When, Taehyung, this is my favorite keychain. Keep it with you until I came to you. You said this while giving Taehyung the keychain that Taehyung gave you. When, sorry, I forgot everything. You said while hugging him. Taehyung, next time don't ever say sorry to me for anything. When, I love you. If you have watched the full video, then please subscribe my channel and also press the bell icon.